Hi guys, and welcome to jackiedis.co.uk, and here are my ultimate tips for developing products. And this doesn't matter whether it's a visual or an audio, this is all based around products that you can develop, piece together yourself, and then send on out there, whether it's to grow your database, build a relationship with your clients, or to actually make some money and retail it. So the very first thing you need to do is know your software, which means if you're going to be doing a podcast, make sure you've got the right software to create it and to create it easily. I have spent money on software. I have spent hours, in fact weeks, trying to work out software sometimes. So make sure it's simple and it's easy, and I will be giving some top tips on different software a little bit later on. My next tip is to avoid noise. Now, I have done film shoots where there has been lawnmowers going on in the background, and when you're trying to do audio, the shoot stops. It doesn't happen. So if you've got children, animals, TV, radio, noisy neighbours, people gardening, check your audio. There'd be nothing worse than filming all day and then you've got to scrap the whole lot because you can hear somebody screaming in the garden, or you can hear the TV and EastEnders is on in the background. So just check the type of noise that you've got around you. The next one is lighting and shadows. Now, my top tip for this is if you're filming from home with your flip camera, face towards a window. I am at the moment in my office and I'm looking straight out towards my window, and this means that, you know, it seems like a pretty well lit room. It's the same as when I'd have the lights on in the studio. I'd have my front lights, but I'd probably have a few more lights on the backdrop just to keep it nice and smooth. But if you're going to be in a studio, just check the studios are up nice and light. If you're outside, check you've not got loads of cast shadows from trees and bushes and etc. It makes a massive difference, and it also helps people visually see you a lot clearer. My next one would be if you are using a handheld like a camcorder, and you're able to use a mic and attach it onto your clothing, or use like a head mic like you have in a studio. Sound quality is one of the biggest things. If it's bad, people won't even bother staying looking at a product you've developed. They're just going to switch it off. So the sound quality is highly important. A, the noise in the background, there isn't any, and B, they can hear you clearly. So check that if it is on your clothes and you've got your mic hooked up, it's not going to rustle as you kind of move and do your aerobics movements and stuff. And B, you can be heard clearly. So many handy cams and camcorders have that little, there's a little, you usually find it in the manual, but it's sometimes underneath the camera or on top of the camera, a link that you can actually hook up a mic into, which is perfect, absolutely perfect, and definitely recommended. Another tip is a tripod. Gotta have a tripod, need that steady camera, no seasickness, no Blair Witch Project. So keep it nice and steady. If you're out and about, you know, it adds to the atmosphere, that's not a problem. But if you've got a product that somebody's going to be watching over and over again, you want to keep it pretty stable. Another one is just to be aware of PPL, which is music licensing. It doesn't matter whether you have a license to play music within a class. It is a whole nother world. It's crazy, music licensing laws, when it comes to DVDs, or when it comes to putting it on YouTube, or when it comes to using it in a podcast. It's really complicated. I would recommend just going on the PPL website and finding out what you can use. My complete and utter tip is to use royalty free and PPL free music, and there are hundreds of online websites for that. So it's PPL free and royalty free music if you want to put anything on the background of any of your DVDs or your actual clips or audios that you're going to do. Another top tip of mine is framing. If you are doing a workout, a DVD, an interview, or you're just talking to camera, just make sure you've not got like half your head cut off, or you go and do a side reach, as you can see, ta-da, and I've lost my arm. Nobody can see what's going on over there. So just make sure that you run through, camera facing you, run through all your moves, and either change where the camera is or change your movement, just to make sure that you are set in frame. I would also recommend, these are my last two, is do a few takes. It takes a while to relax into audio. First one often sounds a little bit rigid. Second one gets a bit looser, and by the third one you've kind of reached a natural tone, a natural pace, and momentum with how you would talk to somebody else. I always imagine whenever I'm in front of camera, I'm talking to my mum. And that's what I do. I imagine I'm talking to my mum or my best friend or some of my personal training clients and interacting that way, because that's who I am and that's how I talk. And ideally you want to get as much personality crammed into these products as possible. And my last one is to relax and enjoy it. It should be fun creating these products. If you have business partners, it should be a great way of you guys coming up with ideas, experimenting with new things. You know, clients are involved, it can be quite a giggle. You sometimes don't get much work done, but it can be a good giggle, and creating products that are going to help other people is also really rewarding as a fitness professional. So I hope these tips are helped. Just a quick overview. Remember, know your software, avoid any noise, good lighting, check your PPL. Please do check your PPL. Don't get caught with any sort of fines of any sort. Use a direct mic, a tripod, keep a steady cam. Make sure you're always in shot as much as you can. And the last one is do a few takes, get into your momentum, into your groove, and relax. So I hope these are helped. Drop me a little message below if you want any other sort of tips and tricks, and I shall speak to you soon.